Um, Good morning. I'm Devin Reno, one half of the Pretty City Express, independent wrestler, surgical tech is the hat I will be wearing this morning. On my way to work, it is 5:35, and gonna get to work at 6. We have, all right, cool. We have a facelift today, so I will be in on that. Um, I'm kind of, so I've started to learn how to suture. My education in suturing has been, hit or miss. Not to anyone's fault. Just that's just the way a busy surgery center rolls. Sometimes you're on the doctor's schedule. Sometimes I don't want to ask to learn on a case, and so on and so forth. But all that being, suturing is like closing, like is sewing the incision shut. All that being said, um, the other assist who works with me, she sutures, so she does a lot of the body cases because we need a lot of suturing, and that leaves me with the faces. So I've become like the right hand man for the facelifts and the surgeon who, does the faces. And we've developed quite the system over the past year or so to be very efficient. And that's one thing about the job that is very interesting to me, um, is that I have to be like in sync with him. So I have to know what he's thinking and have the instruments ready for him before he even says it. Uh, I'd like to think 80% of the time I'm on the same page. Faces probably 90, 95. So that's cool. But yeah, needless to say, it's a long day. Um, we also have uh, it's a facelift as well as a blepharoplasty, or a quad bleph, which is upper and lower eyelids, just removing the fat pockets out of there. Um, I'll game plan with him when he arrives to see what he wants to do with that. And fat transfer, which we take fat from uh, a place on the body, maybe abdomen, maybe inner thigh, uh, and then inject it. Well, first I have to break it down into microfat to remove some fat cells, and I transfer it through these filters and then get it ready to inject into the face to give a more voluminous and youthful look. So yeah, that's on the docket today. And then after that, prepare for the next day, go hit the gym, and then go to training. And today at training, it's going to be an interesting one because it's the first day was the first day back after our abysmal last week. And I hope people took the weekend to have a reality check. Um, I've learned over the years to not be so, uh, to not expect that, but to hope for that because oh, it's it's easy to say like, all right, this is my wake up call. This is my wake up call. And the next day wake up, ironically, and just go about your day because something comes up, or oh well, I'll do it after work, or oh, I didn't wake up in time, I forgot, um, I snoozed the alarm. So, and then you just fall into a routine again. So the wake up call that you had on Thursday got pushed back to Friday, which then got pushed back to Saturday, but you had that thing that you planned with your partner, so you can't really refocus then. Sunday, you're tired, so you're going to hang out. You'll get to it Monday. Monday comes around, you're busy at work again because of the work from the weekend. And then Tuesday, you're like, oh, I have not mentally processed uh, how much change I'm going to be doing. I have not started that change, and so on and so forth. So it's, I'm not talking down, that's just life, right? Like you get stuck in these cycles, and that's why. So, as someone who is leading and trying to steer the ship in the right direction at the school, I have to kind of go, okay, I said my piece. It's I've done what I can control, and what I can do now is uh, offer being a good coach. And a good coach doesn't just yell at you. A good coach also picks you up and meets you where you're at. So there are people who are not going to have any different mindset than they did Thursday, and that's fine. I'm just going to continue to coach them and not take it personally, so on and so forth, because then that drains me. But I'm not going to go out of my way to drag them up. If I don't see a change, I'm just going to offer the standard good coaching that the AZ PWTC offers, and that's it. Because if I care more about your career than you do, that says something, you know? And then the people who have taken this couple days to reset and come back and be like, all right, like I'm locked in, which is a phrase that we can go on and on about how you can't. It's frustrating. Like locking in is so temporary for people, and it's a fun word to say or fun phrase to say, so people say it. But yeah, regardless. The people who do show up and they're like, all right, I'm locked in. It's my job to then make sure that mentality gets, I don't want to say rewarded, but gets recognized, and my efforts are poured into them a little bit. Because I want them to, realize, oh, the more I work, the more people want to invest in me. Or the more I show that I care, the more people want to invest in me. Because that's true. That's true about wrestling, and probably life. Who knows? I don't know anything else besides wrestling. But yeah, like if you show up with a good attitude and you're ready to learn and you're ready to pour into yourself and the team around you, uh, people will invest in you and help you succeed. So I want them to recognize that and kind of like solidify that thought pattern in their head. Um, and then it doesn't become motivation like, oh, I'm going to lock in. It just becomes, oh, okay, this is what happens when I show that I care and I show that I want to invest in myself and the team, the people around me, and I want everyone to succeed, is the universe or the people who are in positions to help me. And yeah, that's it. I'm not going to take it personally if nobody shows up. I will let them know, in a couple weeks if they're still slacking. Like, hey, remember when we had that talk and you went and did nothing with it? You're still where you are. So I don't think that's being mean. I think that's bringing them to reality. If you are going to consistently perform at a level where you're just kind of like wasting your own time because you're not progressing, then I'll tell you. It's a waste of time. Wrestling is really hard, and it takes a lot of time away from things that you love and things that you probably should be pouring into to be a balanced, fulfilled person. But that's the name of the game, you know? That's with anything you really want in life. You're gonna have to sacrifice for it, and you're gonna have to like prioritize it. And if you're not gonna prioritize it, but you're gonna develop an ego or, develop an attitude because you're getting mad at people telling you that you're not progressing, then I don't know what to tell you. You're toxic to the culture that I want to create, because I want people, and it's not just like I want winners. It's like I want people who want to learn, and I want people who are willing to bring everyone else up, because a rising tide brings up all ships. That's been my mindset about everything. If the more people who are at the top of the training center and leading with me, the easier it is on everyone. It's easier on me, it's easier on the other leaders there, it's easier on the students because they have so many people they can go to. So it's easier on Dom and John. Like, I digress. Big day today. I'm excited. I'm gonna drink my coffee and plan for this facelift we got going on. And I will catch up with you probably on the way to the gym. Maybe not. Maybe at the gym. We'll see. But this is day 2. Road to getting signed. I just want to get signed. I do love my job, but I love wrestling a lot. And it'd be cool to just wrestle. But this is what we gotta do. And I am gonna work hard today. I'm gonna work hard tomorrow. I worked hard yesterday. so on and so forth until that happens. So I'll catch up with you guys. I crashed out. Um, I, it is 11 o'clock. I'm home. Um, Exciting day at the training center. There was a new class, 6 new people. Super cool. Brian is back, and we love Brian. He's going to be joining the newbies and getting back in ring shape. He's coming back from an injury. Phenomenal energy to have around the training center. And no, Brian, I'm not just saying that because you watch this. I'm saying that because I mean it. Brian's someone who is just, he adds to the energy there, and is like a great example of what we look for in students. Um, and he was not the reason for the crash out. And I'm not even like, I don't even want to vent about the incident. I want to talk about the culture that we want to develop, and the fact that if you are learning a skill, right? And this is my mindset. And you want to talk about locking in and like, oh, I'm locked in, or oh, I really want the best. I want to be the best. I want to be signed to WWE. I want to be signed to AEW. I want to be at the top of the industry. Respect is a huge thing with that in just wrestling and life in general. I come from a sports background, so the intense competitive environments are no stranger to me. But no matter how intense and competitive it got, there was always a respect for the coaches and the people developing you as athletes. And I felt disrespected today, so I crashed out and I put the person in their place. And I make these. I don't ever want to feel like I'm not authentic on here. I don't ever want to feel like I'm putting up a front or putting on like a, or I'm working a character, right? Like I don't want that. I think, especially with this new series that I want to do, I want to be as real as I can and as authentic as I can be without, like getting into the weeds of traumas or situations that come up, because that's just nobody's business but those in it. Um, but yeah, I did crash out, and I had a tough time being disrespected. Um, and so I made it very clear that that would not happen. And I already get the, not stigma, but they just straight up call me the mean one when it comes to the new people. And all the new people today were great, I think, um, from what I heard. But it it's not that I try to be mean. It's that uh, I am very honest and upfront with how much um, I'm honest, but I don't want that to come off as like, oh, they just can't handle my honesty. Like, no, there's a certain way you should talk about honesty, and I hate people who are like, I'm just brutally honest, and it's like, no, you're just kind of a dick. Like, I don't feel like that's me. I feel like I hold people to standards that they themselves set. So if you walk into the school and you say, I want to be the best and I want to be signed to WWE, but then are disrespectful or not really trying your best or not going to the gym and being in shape. And I'm not talking about physical or like being a specimen or anything like that, just like being able to work a match without being so out of breath. Um, I do hold you to that standard that you yourself have put. So I'm very blunt with how I say things. I am very like, no, you're actually falling way short of that and you need to be better. Um, And I do make it very clear that nobody is forcing them to be there. They are free to walk away whenever they want. And some of them probably should, because if you're gonna go there, and there's people who will go, hey, I just really want to like do this for the weekends and like have something to do. Awesome. That's great. As long as you're honest about that and upfront about that, that's what I'm gonna be holding you to. I'm holding you to the standard that you set. Not everybody wants to be in WWE. Not everyone wants to make this a career. That's totally fine. I love that. That's what makes this so cool, is you can do it at any level and have fun with it and be fulfilled with it. That's awesome. Don't lie to yourself, and don't lie to me, and most specifically, don't disrespect. the environment that you were in, giving you the opportunity to do that. Like I was talking about yesterday, you pay your tuition, you show up, you work hard. Don't ruin that by ruining it. So, yeah, that's it. I feel like I need to be upfront with my maybe weak moments as a leader. But as I say that, every single person in the and people who would not just lie to me and like kind of brown nose me, because I get it, that happens with leadership anywhere, but all of them were just like, yeah, man, like that, he needed that. That was totally justified. And so in an intense environment, intense crash out sometimes, without being a personal attack and without being like questioning the person's character, just, I hate the term like putting them in their place, but just like letting them know, hey, not acceptable, not gonna happen. You need to learn, or you need to know your role here, in terms of you are here to work hard and work on yourself and learn. That's it. Disrespect will not be tolerated, so on and so forth. Anyways, I feel like I'm ranting about this. It wasn't really that big of a deal. It's just part of that culture I want to cultivate, you know? I don't want a place where people can talk over coaches and feel like they can disrespect and do whatever they want. And the person who did it is not a bad person. He's not a bad student. He just made the wrong choice. And I understand that and I get that. And it's not like people are allowed to make mistakes. I make them every day, probably. Um, I have made tons of mistakes and I learn from them. That's the test, right? Nobody expects perfection, and that was something I talked about with the student today. I talked to him on Thursday. You know, incremental change is all I want. Every rep, incremental progression. That could be a decimal of a percentage, as long as it's incremental. People expect perfection because I expect that of myself, but the thing is, you're never going to get that. You're never going to get perfection. And I understand that. And if you're learning a skill, you're going to fall short a lot. And that's fine. That's part of the journey. It's the lack of effort and the lack of effort, but increase in ego that I have a problem with. But yeah, that was today. 5 hours later. Then I stayed after. Some newbies introduced themselves to me and we had good talks and I helped talk them through certain situations and what they can be doing to be better, which is always cool to see. They seem like an eager group. I'm very excited for them. I am going to eat my last meal. I was going to like make it, it's a cereal and a protein shake. I was going to make it as I talk to you, but I felt like that would be rude. But you're a camera, so what do you care? Tomorrow we have quads. Well, first we're going to wake up, we're going to go to work. We got quads later on in the day, and then date night with Meredith. So probably won't film that because no, not everything's for this. This is about getting signed, not me enjoying personal life. So yeah, thanks guys. I hope you liked it. Uh, I'll be better tomorrow about filming. I I got in my head. It was a new gym. I was like in the zone. I was stressed out because I didn't know if I would be able to work out and get to the school on time to like be part of the introduction to the newbies. I fell short, and that's that. That's all it is. I did not deliver and footage, and I am owning that and accepting that. And we'll be better tomorrow, which is all we can ask for. All I can ask of myself, I guess. So yeah, I will catch you guys tomorrow. Day 2. What a day. What a life. What a journey.